Welcome back students. I am your geography teacher Vandana Joshi and you are watching SST June. Students, today we are going to study more about the natural vegetation of India and wildlife in these forests. So first we will study about the forest cover in India and how we can conserve these forests. So let's see what is forest area. The forest area in India is 23.28% of the total area of our country. Both forest area and forest cover vary from state to state. Forest area and forest cover are different from each other. The forest area is the area notified and recorded as the forest land, while the actual forest cover is the area occupied by the forest. So here I am providing you some differences between the forest area and forest cover. So as already I told you that forest area and forest cover both are not same. They both are having some differences. So what are these? See, the forest area is the area notified and recorded as forest land irrespective of the extent of trees, while the actual forest cover is the area actually occupied by the forest. So that means we can say the actual forest cover is an area which is exactly occupied by the forest. Okay. So second, the forest area is based on the records of State Revenue Department. The record of the forest area is being kept by the State Revenue Department, whereas the forest cover is based on aerial photographs and the satellite imageries. In 2001, the actual forest cover was only 20.55%, which is recorded as total area of our country. Later it was recorded 23.28%. So now let's see what is the forest conservation and how we can conserve our forest. So as we know that forests provide us numerous direct and indirect advantages to us and our economy as well as our society. So according to the new forest policy, which is basically for the conservation of the forest policy, few steps being taken in which the forest basically divided into three types of forest. One is social forestry, second is urban forestry, and third is the farm forestry. So we will see through these three forestry what are the measures which are being taken for the forest conservation. So students, here you can see that what are the measures through which we can conserve our forest. So first of all, we will talk about the social forestry. Social forestry means the management and the protection of forest and afforestation on the barren lands. Second is the urban forestry, which pertains to raising and management of trees on public and private lands. If we talk about the rural forestry, it gives emphasizes or promotion of agroforestry and community forestry. So another point we can take, the afforestation and reforestation is being undertaken in many areas. If we talk about the grasslands are being regenerated and the improved methods of silviculture are being practiced. We have to grow the fast growing plants and these are being planted, and next is the areas under forest are being increased. Students, just now we have discussed about the natural vegetation and its conservation in India. Now we will see the faunas, or we can say the wildlife in our natural vegetation. So let's talk about the wildlife in India, in which we will discuss about the wildlife conservation and some biosphere reserves which are situated in our country. So students, wildlife of India is a great heritage. It is estimated that about 4 to 5% of all known plants and animals species on the earth are found in India. So over the years, their habitats have been disturbed by the human interventions. There are certain species that are on the verge of extinction. So here are some important reasons behind the extinctions of these animals and these flora and fauna species. So students, here are few reasons which are responsible for the declining of the wildlife. As number one, the industrial and the technological advancement brought about a rapid increase in the consumption of forest resources. Number two, more and more land was cleared for agriculture, human settlement, roads, mines, reservoirs, etc. Number three, the pressure on forest resulted due to need for fodder and fuel wood and removal of small timber by local people. Number four, the grazing by domestic cattle caused a twofold adverse effect on wildlife and its habitat. If we talk about the another reason, that is hunting was taken up as a sport by the elites. Hundreds of wild animals were killed in a single hunt. And the next one is the incidents of forest fire, through which we are getting a very loss in our wildlife animals as well as in the our wildlife vegetation. Every year, due to the forest fire, the large part of our forest is going to be burned, as well as it is danger for the wild animals. So students, which type of safety measures we can do through which we can conserve these wildlife? So some special efforts are being made to preserve endangered species of wildlife for the birds and the animals. The famous project, it is the Project Tiger, has been a great success on it. Now we have 16 tiger reserves in various parts of the country. Likewise, Rhino project is being implemented in Assam. So here I am showing to you few important biosphere reserves, as well as among these biosphere reserves we will see 4 or 5 biosphere reserves for detail. So students, as you can see in this given map of India, it is showing the national parks, bird sanctuaries and wildlife sanctuaries. You can see the different areas or different states of our country, and here you can see the different type of national parks and the sanctuaries. As in Uttarakhand also you can see the Corbett, and near around the Dehradun one area it is Rajaji. Same like that in other parts of our country as well, many parks and the sanctuaries are situated. Now let's see in this list of biosphere reserves. Here you can see around 14 biosphere reservoirs in which you can see the Nilgiri, Nanda Devi and Nok Lake, Manas, Sundarbans, Gulf of Mannar, Greater Nicobar, Simili Pal, Dibru, Shikahua and Dehang Dibang, Kanchenjunga, Panchmani and Agastya Malai and the Amarkantak one biosphere reservoirs, in which the Nilgiri, Nanda Devi, Sundarban, Gulf of Mannars have been recognized by UNESCO on World Network of Biosphere Reserves. So now let's see these 4 biosphere reserves which are recognized by UNESCO. These are Nilgiri, Nanda Devi, Sundarban and Gulf of Mannar. So what is the area and what is the location of these reserves? as the total area of Nilgiri is 5,520 square kilometer, and it is situated into three states, that Tamil Nadu, Kerala and Karnataka. The habitation of Nilgiri biosphere is totally different. It is full of the moist deciduous, semi-evergreen and wet evergreen forest, as it is situated into three states. So the vegetation is different in the different area. It is specially we can say reserved for the elephant, tiger, gaur, sambar and the cheetahs. The next important biosphere reserve is Nanda Devi. The total area of Nanda Devi is 2236.74 square kilometer. It is situated in Uttarakhand, and it is situated in the part of Chamoli, Pithoragarh and Almora district. A small part of this biosphere reserve is also situated in the Bageshwar district as well. The Biosphere Reserve has a rich fauna, for example, the snow leopard, black bear, brown bear, musk deer, snowcock, golden eagle and the black eagle. Now let's see the Sundarban Biosphere Reserve. The Sundarbans Biosphere Reserve's total area is 9,630 square kilometer. It is situated in West Bengal, a part of delta of Ganga and Brahmaputra river system. As we know, the vegetation is swampy and the mangrove forests are famous in that area, and it is famous for, or we can say it is the home of nearly 200 Royal Bengal tigers. It is also famous for the large species of fish, from fish to shrimp. More than 170 bird species are known to inhabit these mangrove forests. It is also famous for the cheetal deer, barking deer, wild pig and even mikakus in these area. Now let's see the Gulf of Mannar Biosphere Reserve. The Gulf of Mannar Biosphere Reserve having a total area of 10,500 square kilometer, which is the largest area in these biosphere reserves. It is situated in Tamil Nadu, and its location is situated in the Indira port of Gulf of Mannar between India and Sri Lanka. And it is world's richest region for the marine based biodiversity. Many kind of islands, then estuaries, beaches, forests are situated in this Gulf of Mannar Biosphere Reserve. It is also famous for the sea grasses, coral reefs, salt marshes and the mangroves. Students, here we have studied about the natural vegetation and the wildlife of our country. In our next video, we will study about the soil and its texture in our country. So for that, keep watching SST June.